Imagine that there is a new kid in your class. Let's call her Emily. She's a pretty smart kid. However, Emily is also extremely hyperactive. She talks to everyone even during class, which disrupts your studying. She interrupts the teacher while they're explaining, and she zones out all the time, even in the middle of conversations. She fidgets in class, and she simply cannot sit still. What do you find Emily distracting? Well, all these features that Emily has are the symptoms of attention deficit hyperactive disorder, otherwise known as ADHD. Now that you know that Emily has ADHD, do you see her in a different way? Having ADHD doesn't mean that people aren't smart. Most kids don't outgrow it, but with the right support, they can thrive in school and in life. In a study by the American Psychiatric Association, it shows that about 5% of children out of 8 billion people have been diagnosed with ADHD. That's about 397,550,000 children. One of the main problems faced by children with ADHD is that they are bullied or treated differently because of it. Their friends don't know how to communicate with them because, in their eyes, you are different. But the problem is, they don't know that it is something that you can't control. They don't know that you act impulsively without thinking, even though you don't want to. Let's come back to Emily's story. She has to be at school by 7:45 in the morning. In order to do that, she has to wake up at 7 a.m. and be in the car by 7:35. However, when she's lying in bed and trying to sleep, Emily's mind wanders off. And the next thing you know, she's daydreaming about something that happened earlier in the day. By the time she finally falls asleep, it's really late, and she knows that she can't wake up in the morning. Fast forward to 7 a.m. Emily's alarm just went off, but she's too sleepy to get out of bed. She tells herself maybe she'll snooze for about 2 minutes, but the next thing she knows, it's 7:20 and her mom is yelling at her to get ready. Let's move on to lunch break. Emily is sitting in the cafeteria with her friends as her friend tells a story about something that happened earlier in the day. When her friend reached a part that Emily remembered, she accidentally blurted out what her friend was trying to say, ruining the suspense her friend was trying to create. Her friend shouts, "Emily, stop interrupting," which hurts her feelings. She tries to enter the conversation, but her friends talk over her. She's worried about saying the wrong thing, as if the thing she says just might be the key to ruining her friendships. Her mood changes quickly when things like this happens. One minute she's happy and cheerful, and the next sad and worried. Emily is in her last period of the day. English. She loves English. However, Emily can't finish her work. Because English is the last period of the day, she keeps on and on thinking about how she wants to go home so that she can talk with her friends. She is restless and she keeps talking non-stop, which prevents other people from doing their own work. Her friends tell her to stop, that she is being distracting, and she tries. She truly does, but it doesn't work. If she isn't talking, she's shaking her knees, tapping her pen on the table, or fiddling with her hair. Anything Emily does is distracting. To make matters worse, her teacher keeps calling her out. She says, "Emily, why are you not doing your work? Why are you just sitting there?" She starts to try and finish her work, but then her mind kind of goes blank as she stares out the window. Once Emily gets home, she remembers that she has handed a big essay for her history lesson tomorrow. Right now, it's already past 9:30, and she should really be getting to bed. However, she knows that she has fallen behind on her work, and that she needs to finish her essay as soon as possible, because it counts for nearly 30% of her grade. On a normal day, she would have been really sleepy as she sits and types her essay, but her need to finish it has her hyper-focused on finishing it on time. She doesn't go to sleep until she's finished it, even when her mom comes in and tells her to go to sleep. This is the life of a typical child with ADHD. Let's break down how Emily goes through her day. What do we notice as she's going to sleep? First, we see that she has a really tough time waking up. ADHD makes it hard for her to fall asleep, and it affects the quality of her sleep too. She's so tired that she doesn't notice her alarm blaring. When she finally gets up, she isn't fully awake. She's in a twilight state that can last for hours and hours. Lack of sleep is a common problem among people with ADHD. It's a big challenge to wind down at night. They often struggle to stop thinking and when trying to go to sleep. Next, let's focus on Emily's lunch break. As you see, Emily's friends have been talking, and Emily, wanting to join in the conversation, accidentally said something that her friend was trying to say. This is known as impulsivity, which means that you act or say something without thinking. When Emily becomes hyper, her friends sometimes become annoyed and tell her and say mean things to her. It's not her fault. It's just something that she can't control. But her friends don't know that, and they don't know how to deal with it. They say that she can't eat certain food that has sugar, like candy or chocolate because they don't want her to become hyper. But what they don't understand is that it isn't the sugar that is making her go hyper, and that is simply wired in her. ADHD stigma can come in different forms, like you're just lazy or you're not working hard enough, and it affects both children and adults and is pretty harmful. To add to this confusion, ADHD symptoms vary from person to person. One child may be hyperactive and impulsive, while the other may appear to daydream or have a hard time remembering what they have read. These challenges can severely interfere with a child's education and even their daily life, which makes school a pretty hard place to be in. Emma Watson, Ryan Gosling, Michael Phelps, Walt Disney, Dave Pikey, and Simone Biles. All these people have something in common. They have ADHD. Considering how successful these people are, do you believe that they have let their ADHD define them? No, and your disabilities should not be what defines you either. Having a disability does not mean that you are worth less than someone else. It will always be a part of you, and you should never forget your true self, no matter what you experience. Each little misunderstanding that makes you feel different is actually what makes you feel greater. Every incident that you endured was for the greater good. These incidents are what gives you the power to know your own true worth. As you grow, it grows with you too. For example, take a look at my cast. Sure, it's not a disability, but it is also something that is holding me back from doing what I want to do. Yes, I am prevented from going up and down the stairs aimlessly, and I can't come down to lunch with my friends. But it does not prevent me from missing school. It does not prevent me from standing here and being able to talk to you all. Your disability should not be what holds you back from growing into who you are meant to be. It's as Emma Watson said, if we stop defining each other by what we are not and start defining ourselves by what we are, we can all be freer. Thank you.